It's the Animal Crossing podcast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, with Crosser Jen. How are you doing?
Doing good.
All right. We are going to just jump right into this thing. It's May. We've had two events. Let's have a little confession time. How many hours have you played this game?
Oh man, we have to start with that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 470 or more.
470 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I feel like that's a lot of time.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it is too.
What else do you do?
Oh, I do plenty. I do lots.
Okay, good to know. Well, we're sitting at my coffee shop right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, I have a spot already planned out for Brewster. One of the things I've been doing over the last month, or I don't know how long it's been since we did an episode, but I've been working very hard on multiple areas that I've been uploading to YouTube to share with the community. Hopefully to give inspiration. So I have a coffee shop area, I have a boardwalk area, I have a restaurant / nightclub / tiki bar / party on the beach area. My residential area is now complete with one of the coolest things I've seen that and I know other people have come up with this idea. I just happened to come up with it on Sunday myself before I saw anybody else do it. And that was actually taking a screenshot of a location and then converting it into a painting using animalcrossingpatterns.com, and then setting up a little stone and a paint set, and then displaying that design as a painting right there on my beach, and it looks like I've painted the area that I'm decorating.
Yeah, that's pretty. I like that.
And so I also created a campsite, a spot for my lighthouse. And I made a hiking trail that only has one entrance and one exit. You can't, it's all fenced off, blocked off. All of that is on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/N64Josh, if you want to find some inspiration. The other thing I'm doing on the regular is streaming Animal Crossing, and I want to include you guys more. So if you head on over to twitch.tv/N64Josh, I will come visit your islands and turn them into YouTube videos, and I do a little show called Animal Crossing Cribs, where we look for inspiration from within the community for design ideas, design tips, and so that's on you guys. So if you want to get involved, again, twitch.tv/N64Josh, and I'm streaming pretty much daily, so you got a pretty good opportunity for me to come tour your island if you want.
Yeah, and I love that series. I love getting inspiration from other islands. It's a lot of fun seeing what other people do, how creative they get. And
it's been very funny because it's been not only there's a lot of kids that play this game, and a lot of kids want me to come visit their islands, right? And so you show up and all they do is like play their little flute. Yeah. And
I know, I had one, they were super excited, they had won a contest or something, so I brought them their prize, and then they wanted to show me around, so I'm like, okay, cool. Well, they took me to the museum, and then they stop and they type in the chat museum, and then we went to the store and they type in the chat Nooks. I was dying. It was so cute.
So funny. So yeah, like almost 500 hours. You're 100 hours more than me, and I feel like I play this game a lot.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know. It's a weird feeling because I look back and I think, how is that possible? And then I look at my island, and I mean, it's not done. It's not, like, I have a lot of unfinished areas, but I also have a lot of areas that I've redone. So I don't know.
Okay, that's a good question right there. Do you think you're ever going to get to a point where you're completely happy and you don't want to change things anymore?
And that is a really good question, and I think about that, because one of my areas that I had redone, probably this might be the third time, like my entrance to the island, and I kind of have it like a little shopping area, little place to sit along the water. I don't know. Anyways, I loved it when I completed it, but now I've been looking at it for a couple weeks, and I'm like, I wonder if I can make this better. So I don't know. I wonder. Because when I first got the game, I could foresee myself having multiple islands because of all the ideas and options. But now I just wonder if I'll ever even be done. Or if I'll just keep transforming the island I have. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of the fun of it. One of the things that I've done is like my residential area right now is designed somewhat so I can find recipes quickly. I have everybody very close together. It's kind of like a little suburb, and they have their little areas. They have a little pool. They have a workout area. The beach, I really set it up cool so they can. It looks like I talk about these characters as if they're actually going to be.
I do too.
It's yeah. I don't know what's going on with me. What is happening? If you're watching this, you can see my little avatar is kind of making a sad face. Right? What have I done? What have I done? So, yeah. But eventually, I feel like I'm going to. Right now, I've created my island for me, as like the areas that like I would like to go visit, especially now that we're kind of stuck at home and you can't really go do anything. So I've created, I've taken inspiration from the Santa Cruz boardwalk and from favorite restaurants and just different places that I would like to frequent again or for the first time, whatever the case may be. I think when it's all said and done, and we don't know what kind of DLC we're going to get, what's going to continue to bring us back to this game. We're going to get into some of the May event and that, but I kind of want to spend like almost the send-off for me with this game is going to be creating my island specifically for, I want to get the villagers that I want, find out, build, get it exactly how I want it. And then create special areas for each one of them, so that like Rold, my boy, we've been hanging out for 19 years, and I want to make sure he's got a nice gym. Right now he's always running around in his muscle suit, but I'll create things very specific for there's so much more life to these characters now.
Yeah, there is,
and it makes the game like I never really talked to the NPCs before, and now I can't wait to see, like, especially when they're talking together, I can't wait to see what kind of goofy conversations. Rold talked about using his eyelids to pull him around his living room to build muscle, like to make his eyes, he's like, my eyes are diesel, so I don't even know what that means, but that's,
they're super entertaining. They're a lot of fun to interact with. That's for sure.
So speaking of characters, we'll just stick on that topic for a little bit. You were able to go on the hunt.
I was. I got lucky, and I had somebody that I was going to evict. They had ended up wanting to leave, and so it worked out really well. I was able to then go, island hopping, and I was in search of Maple. And she's just a cute little brown cub, little bear. And I had my heart set on her. I went through all my Nook Mile tickets. I had you and a few other friends send me other Nook Mile tickets. Island 59, after being at it most of the day, I come across Raymond. And yeah, what do you do? I mean, right? Like, I don't know. I brought Raymond home. That's what I did. And so now Raymond lives on my island. But yeah, it was a fun day. It was really fun seeing all the characters, but like I kind of felt like I had been like flying all day. Like I spent so much time in that airport that day. I felt a little jet lagged afterwards. I bet. It was fun. It was fun being on the hunt. It was fun not knowing who you're going to see, on each island. But yeah, I never found Maple, so she's still on my list to find at some point, but I couldn't pass up Raymond, so.
We should just put this out here. We have extra cards to trade. If anybody has an extra Maple, you can hit us up in the Instagram DMs or something like that. Maybe we can make a trade happen if we have one that you're looking for, or vice versa. So
yeah,
let us know. It's a good way to let a lot of people know that, hey, we're looking for Maple.
Yeah.
So what's it like living with Raymond? Does everybody love Raymond?
Oh, gosh. That's funny. I do. I love him. He's just a sweet little kitty cat. He kind of keeps to himself. He's friendly, and Yeah, I mean, I think it's only been maybe 3 or 4 days, so I haven't, spent a lot of time with him yet, but I enjoy him. He's a nice little kitty.
So I think there's maybe a tip that we can give people right now, as far as like if you have somebody that says they want to leave, you don't dilly dally. If you've talked to other villagers in other people's islands, there is a very good chance that they will move in.
Yeah, so before getting Raymond, I had sold my 10th piece of land, and was going to look for Maple then. And I did go to some islands that night, but it got late and thought, okay, I'll just pick this up tomorrow and just spend, all day tomorrow searching. Woke up and it had been sold to another person or, villager. So I was really disappointed. And then that's when the next day, somebody decided they wanted to leave, and that's when I was able to go. So yeah, you have the day they decide to leave, then the next day they'll be in boxes, and then the day after that, their house, their little piece of land will be empty but not sold yet. That's the day you want to go to the islands. If you wait past that, I didn't wait because I was afraid it would sell to somebody random. Because yeah, if you've been to someone's island and talked to them, there's a good chance.
That's what happened to me.
Right.
I was like, oh, I have an empty lot. I was still focused on trying to get my building done, trying to get the terraforming done, and I was like, oh, I have time. I come back and it's sold to Winnie from Pitter Pat and Jay Harley in my community. I had talked to Winnie when I was at his island. And lo and behold, there she was, and I was like, "Wait a minute! I didn't want this."
Yeah.
And now the only other character that wanted to leave was Rolled.
No.
And he calls me Blaster, and I don't want to get a new Rolled that won't call me Blaster because I think it's hilarious. So.
Yeah. So, and I didn't realize that too, but because I didn't think I had talked to anybody. But if you like to travel to pick up DIYs from people, you're talking to their villagers, so I don't know if that's part of it or what. But yeah, keep that in mind when you have an open spot to fill it before it does sell, because I think the next day it will sell.
Just act quick. Yeah, don't wait, because it was for both of us. It was just one day of waiting, and then it sold. So, and your character was random. Mine came from somebody else.
Right, and I actually think though mine wasn't completely random. I just didn't recognize where they came from.
Got it.
It wasn't somebody I remember talking to or definitely didn't invite. So that's why I think maybe I picked up a DIY from a different island. So
I see. So there you go. Don't wait if you're wanting to find a special character, and just go do it as quickly as you can, because it can take a long time.
Well, I know. Like I spent at least 4 hours, and I got to, I think, through 32 islands. Now, I did a couple of times get distracted and like collect some resources along the way, and there was a few, so it wasn't completely, like I think you could probably get through, oh gosh, I don't know. So it was like 4 hours that one time, and then that night I was back at it again for another 2 or 3 before and I made it to 59 islands. So yeah, it's time consuming for sure.
Yeah, and the other thing is make sure you get look for your recipe bottles on those islands. Grab
make it worth your time.
Yeah, grab a few of those resources that are there: the rocks, the stones, nuggets, things like that. Sometimes you can find like money.
I found
rocks.
3 money islands that day, so that was nice.
Yeah, that's really good.
And I think 3 or 4 gold nuggets. And then there's a piece of furniture on every island too. So I got a few
shaking the trees.
I got few new things that way too. So
yeah, there you go.
Yep.
There you go. So the May event took place, and it was just a little maze, kind of, it wasn't anything like overly exciting, but at the same time, for me, it had kind of a classic Nintendo feel to it. It had almost this like Zelda puzzle, and I think the most important thing that I took away from it is it showcased ways to gamify this game with your friends, where now we can't like, I guess if you really want to take the time to count how many hits it takes to break an axe and then put a 1-hit axe in the maze, you could, because that's what we had, starting out with this. But you could easily put the fruit here, put the shovels here. The way they placed the holes, the way they used those shrubs, they made mazes out of it, and you could only go certain ways. You couldn't. I thought it was really cool, and I really do hope it does inspire some people to create little mini games. I know for me, one of the mini games I want to do on my island that I'll be doing live on my streams is with the timer and the silver briefcase that it's full of gold bars. I'm gonna hide it on my island, and if you can find it within the timer, give away like 1,000,000 bells.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So and I think I want to get the spinner, like the like the Wheel of Fortune or whatever, and depending on like what number you get, maybe you get so many tries or so many minutes, things like that, like just to come up with some fun games that the community can do. And that May event really seemed to kind of inspire that. So the other thing we did was the stamps. That was the other part of the May event. We did that. For me, it was the nice a nice way to get back in the museum and see that, because I hadn't really gone to see some of the bugs or some of the fish that I had and I finished all my fossils finally. So that was
good job.
That was nice. So it's cool going and seeing the bugs, and then it's like, oh, there's koi swimming around in here, and they actually put this in here. I didn't realize. And sometimes the bugs are a little hidden, like this water bug that showed up in May, like seeing him kind of hiding up under a dock, or I don't know. I appreciated it. I know a lot of the community was a little, like, it seemed a little disappointed with it, like they wanted a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I get that. I understand, but at the same time, at least we're getting something.
Right. Yeah. I like it that at least, like you said, at least it's something. It gives you something to do. Go back into the museum, revisit some things. And yeah, I just like, just the little things like that. Keep it going. Keep adding new things to do. It's nice. So yeah. I guess what else happened? Showed up on our islands. I wasn't expecting to see this, and I don't think you were either. I think you were surprised to see a lily of the valley growing.
I was, yeah. I didn't know mine had shown up. I had hit 5 stars, didn't realize it. I hadn't talked to Isabel to find out and get the gold watering can or anything. And I was coming back from somebody else's island, and in my campsite, there's my first. They're still Jacob's ladders to me.
I know it's hard to not call them a Jacob's ladder. But
yeah, Lily of the Valley. For me in New Leaf, it was like, this is how I considered I beat the game, right?
Yeah.
When my island was perfect, and those were growing, and I would always go and dig them up, and I had like a garden of these flowers, and I'll do the same. I'll do the same in this game. They'll be their own little garden. But I was really excited. I was really stoked that it happened, and then it was still like 2 days later before I finally remembered, like, oh yeah, I got to go talk to her and get the gold watering can.
Yeah, I know. I didn't expect it at all because, like I said, my island's far from done, and I feel like I haven't tried. I haven't counted how many trees I have, how close they are together. I haven't done any of that, and then all of a sudden there it was growing. So I was like, oh my goodness.
Well, I think in this game, and the community's trying to piece it together. There's a lot of different theories out there, but I think fencing is a big part of it. And I have a lot of fence going on my trailhead. I have the rope. If you're watching this, you can see the rope up behind, and I use some barbed wire. There's a variety of fences. Even in my residential area, there was a spot where I could just hide more fence. You don't really see it, but I was like, well, at least it's giving me more pieces of fence.
Yeah.
And it's just behind their houses.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and I suppose I use fence a lot for decorating. I don't necessarily have areas fenced off, but I'll put in pieces here and there to just add to my scenery or whatever. So that, yeah.
And even I've got plenty of weeds growing.
I do too, because they're so cute.
Right. Yeah, it hasn't, and it didn't affect my rate. Now, if they get a little too overgrown, I'll go through and
same.
And
I gotta
them
weed them every few days, and then they get back to the perfect length. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a nice touch. I really like the way they look, and they are really pretty for weeds. Like,
absolutely,
I like them.
Absolutely. And what Isabel kept telling me was I needed more flowers.
Okay.
She kept telling me you need more flowers. Like, everything's great, but you don't have enough flowers. And then it was you have too much stuff laying around, because I would throw all the DIYs that I already had just be on the ground.
That is hard, is the extra DIYs, because I like to hang on to them for people, but yeah, I don't have anywhere to put them. So yeah, that and the catalog parties. I actually lost my 5-star rating because of a catalog party, and so I got it back. But yeah, they don't like it, have stuff laying around, which I don't either. So it works.
Gotta keep it clean.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it clean. Yep. So one of the other things that we've been doing, and I have a video up on this, a couple videos actually, is like photography tips and tricks. And you're gonna have to go watch the videos to see, but there's some ways to kind of manipulate the camera so that you can get shots that would otherwise not be possible. And some of it involves like setting up your shot and then moving your camera up or down and clicking the shutter while it's moving so that you can kind of line up that perfect shot. Now, one other thing we've done is we've made presets for the Lightroom mobile app that you can use very simply to take your pictures to the next level. And so if you head over to n64josh.com/presets and use the code ACNH, you will save 10% off your purchase, and they're just $5, and you get an indoor, an outdoor, and daytime. I'm sorry, indoor, daytime, and nighttime. Those are the three. Each set has, and there's 7 different sets, so there's something that will fit your style. The Lightroom app is free. You can download that onto your phone, and then if you want to snag these presets, it walks you through how to install them. And I gotta say, I have a picture of Axel at night with some amber with the sunlight or the moonlight bouncing off of it, and adding the I think it was the Audi preset. Like, I really, really love the way it turns out.
Yeah, it adds so much. And I think, honestly, that might be a big chunk of my gameplay time is the photography aspect. Like, the lighting in this game, the different times of the day, the weather changing, like, it's a beautiful game. And so not only have they given us the camera and being able to adjust the angle, zoom in and whatnot, but then adding, the edits, the presets, I like that for me is so much fun. And so that just adds a whole nother level of like, I don't know, just interest, and like, it just draws me in. And so I spend way more time on Instagram because I just enjoy taking pictures and then editing them. And it's a lot of fun, I think.
Well, you've had people in your Twitch stream that are like, we see people that like the other residents, but like, you light up every time you see one, and then you start taking all these shots, and they're like, do you do photography,
I've had
in real life?
A couple people have asked me if I'm a photographer, and then I do. I talk to my neighbors. I call them my neighbors or my friends, and I do. And so I've been laughed at by multiple people because, I'm guilty. But they are so cute. I can't help it. But.
So again, if you want to be able to pick up some of those presets, it's n64josh.com/presets. And coupon code save 10% is ACNH. And there you go. Take some pictures for yourself.
Super
and it's
easy to use, and it's a lot of fun.
It's so simple. You just tweet out or put into a private Facebook photo album your photos that you take in game. Then you just you can go to those photos and click open the photo. It'll open it with the app if you wanted to, or you just download it to your camera roll, and then you can have some fun with it. It's kind of weird, but like, I wasn't all that. Like, I mean, I like the photography, and I would mess with some of their filters, but I didn't love them in the game. And then I sat down in Lightroom and started making up some of these other filters. And it's, once you have the presets saved on your phone, it's just one button press, and then you can kind of adjust. I usually go in and adjust my highlights or my exposure just a little bit depending on the
and you can,
the time
because
of day.
It is hard. Like, even though we have the nighttime and the daytime, and there's sometimes though just the lighting can be so bright, you do have to adjust it occasionally, but it saves so much time, and it just takes the guessing out of, like, okay, is this, I don't know. I used to spend so much time editing, and now it's just like a push of a button. I'm like, sweet, it looks awesome. And it's a lot more fun. So,
and the other thing too, worth mentioning, is that the all you have to do is snap the photo, move it into your, like, get it on your camera roll, open the app, one button press, and you're good to go. You're good to go. It will save you a lot of time, but it is addicting.
Yeah, it is.
It can be very addicting.
Yeah, just playing with all the different camera angles. Like, once your camera's up, you're your person can leave the shot and you just have beautiful scenery photos to take pictures of, and yeah, it's a lot of fun playing with it. And then you add the presets and
yeah. The first picture I did of the Lily of the Valley, I was like, that it was just moonlight, just lighting it up and using that nighttime filter. Or that nighttime preset. I loved it. So
yep.
Last on our list, we kind of just want to discuss real quick just the way, you know, well, I don't know. We got quite a few things on this list, so you pick one.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, pick the final topic.
Okay, well, I want to go back to how we were talking about the different games that you can do or ways to interact with people.
Yep.
And one of the really fun things that me and my girls did this week was set up a fashion show. And so we used that spinning wheel that you mentioned, that one of my girls set up. Each item on the wheel was a category for a certain outfit style. So it could be like, we did an 80s theme. We did just a character, like just costume, dress up. And then we did like your favorite summer outfit or something like that. And so we would spin the wheel, and those were the 3 that we landed on. And we each pitched in 500,000 bells. And then we went to one island she had set up a red carpet runway. And it was so much fun. We would go, we had chairs, we'd sit. One of us would go and change into our outfit and then walk out on the runway, and we'd all pose and take pictures. And we just did it one at a time, and we did each of the different, I don't know, it was a lot of fun. And then we would vote, and then we'd go back and change and do the next category. And it was just a fun little, I don't know, we had fun doing pictures with each other. And then, the winner for the 3 of us got 1 million bells, and it was just a fun little way to, I don't know.
They drugged me into this too. They were like, you need to vote, and I'm like, I don't want to.
We needed a judge.
I don't want to be the. I don't want to.
But they give you some. It was a fun way to use some of the clothes that they give you, some of the costumes and whatnot, and then just to see each other again, just letting the creativity. Like each person got to bring what they felt was their favorite for that style or whatever. It was, I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. So that was just kind of our.
And you guys did it for a while.
Yeah, it was probably over an hour. But I mean, I don't know, fashion show, like it was just a lot of fun. So. And
you had like 80s fashion. You had like what was like fairy tale or.
It was just costume. Yeah. So whatever. So like I came as a baseball character because I had the hat, I had the outfit, and I had the cleats.
Right.
So whatever, you got to go through your wardrobe ahead of time and see what you have, and so. As you're shopping on a daily basis, we kind of would keep in mind, okay, we're going to do a fashion show. I got to make sure I'm buying things that I wouldn't normally buy or wear. But, and I mean, I think the same thing can happen once, like, come closer to Halloween. How fun would that be to have costume parties, like in contests and everybody pitch in some bells? I think that'd be a lot of fun, so.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's so much you can do that this game lends itself to so much creativity and, and who knows how long she's going to keep that runway up before she decides to level it and then put something else there.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, where can people follow you on the socials?
On the socials. So I am at Animal Crosser Jen on Instagram and Facebook. Twitter is too long, so just Crosser Jen. And I'm still N64Jen on Twitch, but that probably should change. But for now, it's N64Jen.
Okay, there you go. You guys can follow me everywhere at N64Josh. Come out to a stream if you want to have your island toured and turned into an episode of Animal Crossing Cribs. And make sure to head on over to youtube.com/N64Josh to find a bunch of Animal Crossing tips and tricks and design ideas. So thank you guys so much for listening. And I think these are going to start coming out a little more regularly.
Yay.
So we will see you guys very soon. Bye now.
See ya.